Hey guys, um, I've had a lot of you come to me and ask me, what should you be doing in a day one and preparing for to do a day one. I know a lot of you have never done one or progressed through one. Uh, I've had some people ask me, hey, what do you do? What do you run? How do you survive? How do you clear? Um, So I figured I'd make a cute little video because I have to make it anyways because I usually make one for my team as well. Really just going over what everyone should be bringing. I don't really force anyone to bring anything. There's just a few things that you really need to bring. Um, so next season, right? It's presumably going to be King's Fall. It's been leaked. It's been talked about. It's in game. The only people that haven't said it is King's Fall is Bungie. So I figured I'd go through what I like to run in a day one, what I'm gonna be bringing into the day one, right? Because it's only a week away now, a week and a half. So first things first, right? When you're going into the day one, and you can take this into your team, whoever wants to step up and be that leader, be that person, is team composition, right? So in the day one, your team composition is what's important, right? You can have the best weapons, best loadout, but if your team comp isn't there, it's gonna be very frustrating, if not near impossible to clear. And in this point of time, in this state of the game, it's warlocks. Warlocks can carry, warlocks can do everything, right? They can heal, they can defend, they can output a shit ton of damage. Warlocks are the way to go. So when looking into my day one King's Fall, I put together a little sheet. It's not really a little sheet. It's basically what we're gonna be attempting, right, for the day one. And so, sad to say it, but King's Fall is gonna be an extremely difficult raid. It's gonna come with a lot of hardness, and it's just gonna be very tough. And to add on to it, you gotta clear it twice. It's just what you gotta do. It's what Bungie, the gods, have done for us. So when looking into King's Fall, right, what I do is I separate all the encounters and basically look at, okay, what do I need to run? And so basically, like I said, warlocks run the game. For the majority of the raid, it's going to be 6 warlocks, right? They can do everything, especially for totems. When it comes to defending totems, you're going to want 6 warlocks. I'm going to be going through my thoughts on what you should be running through the raid as a warlock for each encounter, what I will be running through the raid on each encounter. But yeah, so starting out, right, all the way to sisters, even maybe sisters, you're gonna want 6 warlocks. They can do everything, you know. There's just no need for characters in other places, right? There's no need for a hunter or a titan on Golgoroth. Well is better than Bubble. You can't Thunder Crash Golgoroth. Maybe you can. Maybe. You you don't really need a hunter at all for almost any of this except Oryx, right? Because on Oryx you can choose who becomes torn between time, and that's where you're gonna want your hunter, right? Because those are jumps that are crucial to being completed, and honestly, hunters have the easiest jumps for this. A warlock can do it, sure. Sure, it all depends on the encounter and if they change it, right? Because this could be a completely different raid for all we know. We're just presuming D1 King's Fall. That's what we can. That's all we have to play with until August 23rd, if that. If that. So the reason I have maybe a hunter on sisters is actually for golden gun damage, right? Because if you all remember, sisters is a time crunch encounter. You have to kill both the sisters. Hard encounter, hard encounter. And I feel like it's gonna be really hard in a contest modifier mode. The encounters can't really go through though, because they're gonna change them. All I know is that totems was a pain in the ass back in the day. It's probably going to be a pain in the ass now, and I'm glad it's the first encounter, right? It's get the hardest one out of the way, hopefully. Okay, so now we're back into the game. We're talking about prep for King's Fall. What am I doing to prepare for King's Fall? What am I bringing into King's Fall? First, I will go over prep, right? Most things, you gotta be 1560, right? Being higher is better. You'll have more leeway into what you can use. You'll have more things to infuse and be able to bring a lot more into the raid. Um, Next thing you really got to do is bounties. I'm gonna be keeping about this for right now. Maybe get up to 60. Right? You don't need to do bounties. You really don't. But the reason you do bounties is to get to that final column in the artifact. Right? There's gonna be a busted mod. There always is. This season it was Classy Restoration. It was stupidly broken. Possibly one of the most broken ones we've ever seen. You want to get to that last column for the raid. Right? Previous raids we've had, every other season we've almost had a damage buff in that last column, which can change the tide of the raid. It can really bring forth damage that you've never seen before, and sometimes it might be needed. Atheon is the biggest example. Atheon was a damage crutch. You had to meet certain thresh points of damage or it was a wipe. There was just nothing to do. You physically could not put out any more damage. And that's something I'm expecting to see in King's Fall, especially in challenge mode. Challenge mode is going to be really difficult. So now going into it, you have my Warlock here. We can go over armor first. Right? You're going to want your set revolving around resilience. Resilience is a new stat they recently buffed this season or last season or whatever, and it was extremely strong. Still is extremely strong. Huge damage resistance. Obviously, this isn't. I'm not going to be running Ophidian aspects in the raid, but crazy strong. You're going to want high resilience and probably high recovery or high discipline. So coming into a raid on a Warlock, right, you gotta remember we're coming into Arc 3.0. So some of the things I will be bringing is Crown of Tempest. Xur sold this absolute monster of a Crown of Tempest a few weeks back. Definitely an exotic I'm bringing into the raid. It's gonna be extremely strong with Stormcaller, even Chaos Reach. A lot of people don't know that Crown of Tempest actually works really well with Chaos Reach. If you get 3 kills, it extends that super for so long. It's really strong indeed. Going into arms, arms are really strong. I have my legendary set right here. Probably not going to bring Ophidian aspects into the raid. I just haven't taken them off yet. Karnstein armlets are really strong if you're going to be running like maybe Karnstein armlets for like ad clear maybe. Probably won't be using them, but I'm bringing them just in case. Controverse Hold I will definitely be bringing because they're my favorite Void exotic to use. Void debuff, Echo of Undermining, Underwhelming or whatever. You can really use this and get it back almost instantaneously. For the chest piece, there is no question. Wait a minute, where is that at? Oh my god, I'm throwing, guys. Starfire or Phoenix Protocol. Absolutely insane, absolutely a must for the day one. Really strong exotic, gives you Well of Radiance back, and really strong. Another one is Starfire Protocol, recently came really good. Extra Fusion Grenade does ridiculous damage. A lot of you have seen it firsthand. A lot of you know it firsthand. But definitely something I'm bringing into the raid. Definitely something I'm going to be using. Right? It could be one of the highest DPSs, bro. We might not even use any heavies or linears or anything because Starfire Protocol is so potent. Going into legs, I'm always bringing transversive steps, bro. They're my babies. You can zip around. Completely gonna skip the jumping puzzle. You already know. Lunafaction boots, really strong. Definitely a need for warlocks. Another need is because you put down your really fast reload, and it also extends range, right? So if you're using I don't really know what this could be used for, but like Sisters of Golgoroth, maybe shotguns are the move. You never know what's gonna be strong in the day one. Perhaps shotguns are the move, and this extends their range. Really strong exotic. Geomag stabilizers, 100% gonna need to bring. Chaos Reach is gonna get buffed. It's gonna be strong as hell. Geomag stabilizers make it way better. Alright, now going over weapons. Weapons are very important, right? Without a doubt, you have to bring Witherhoard. It is the strongest exotic in the game, arguably. It can deal ridiculous damage, block off tunnel ways. It's super strong and just in general super broken. Definitely gonna be bringing Arbalest because there's gonna be champions, and we're probably gonna end up seeing Barrier Knights and Unstoppable Ogres. It's bound to happen. We're gonna see them. So I'm definitely bringing Arbalest for sure because Arbalest is just also stupid broken. Bringing a grenade launcher. I'm still gonna be farming a little bit. I got a another one I want to put in this list. Where is it at? Oh my god, I should have done this before. Ignition code, slide shot, blinding grenades, really strong. Blinding grenades are really, really good. Bringing chill clip too, just in case, maybe for totems. Totems is going to be really hard defensive encounter. You're going to want blinding nades, you're going to want grenade launchers. They're going to be really strong. An SMG for overload, just in case, you never know. Destiny. Going into the secondary slot. Now, some of these probably going to get cooked on by some of you for my choices, but it's okay. Akelos SMG, Arc 3.0. You don't know what they're going to bring. Akelos SMG is really strong. Bringing Incandescent Callus Mini Tool, of course. Funnel Web, because it's Funnel Web. Extremely strong. Void. Could see Void Acolytes. Doubt it, but could see Void Acolytes. Vouchsafe is my go-to scout rifle. If I need to, I can always run the kinetic Hung Jury. Hung Jury is also really good. But if it's a go-to, I'm gonna be running Vouchsafe. Vouchsafe is really good. I love it. There's no need to describe why you should bring this with Arc 3.0. I need to grind. I'm one away from getting my crafted one. I'm gonna grind up the levels. You need this. This is the best grenade launcher in the game, and if it has Ambitious Assassin, it's gonna get 3 in the mag, and it just lights up an entire hallway. Insidious is going to be one of my go-to special weapons as well with Arc 3.0. As you can see, I'm 2 levels away from being able to fully level it up, excuse me, and get the rapid hit rampage or rapid hit adaptive munitions, something I really want to bring into the raid. Dead Messenger is extremely strong. I'm expecting it to be able to one-hit adepts. If you don't know, adepts are the acolytes that can turn into ogres, basically. Super strong. And then for auto rifles, I kind of want to bring Sweet Sorrow, right? This is my last one and I can craft it. And I kind of want to bring Sweet Sorrow and see what it can do. It might be really strong going into Arc 3.0, but we'll just have to wait and see, right? We don't know what Arc 3.0 has in store for us. Bringing Eager's Edge. Of course, Eager's Edge. Can't ever do anything in this game without Eager's Edge. And then for heavies, right, this is a new one that just came out. It came out last week, I think. Farmed the hell out of it. Got a couple auto-loading explosive light rolls. Bringing this into the raid for sure. It is actually statistically better than Polymera B because of its fire rate. You just gotta hit your shots. With Arc 3.0 could be busted for linears. Obviously bringing Cataclysmic. This thing's a beast. Ridiculous amounts of damage. Storm Chaser for a linear. Storm Chaser is really strong still. Gallahorn. Gallahorn's probably the best rocket still in the game. Could be really good for Sisters. Sisters is time crunch damage. You have to throw everything out in seconds. You don't got that much time. You just gotta bake. Polymera, because Polymera is fucking insane. You're gonna want the roll just like this. Hard launch, impact, auto loading, explosive light. Something I'm bringing to. It's really just a good weapon overall. Something to use if, say, you aren't as good at hitting hot headshots, which is fine. It's okay. I have people on my team that are going to be choosing Polymera over Hothead because they just feel more comfortable. Anarchy 2, you know, just in case you don't know. Arc 3.0, you don't know what they could do. So yeah, really, it all comes down to what you're comfortable with too. There's only a few choices that I'd say you'd have to bring, like Witherhoard, Gallahorn, Izanagi's Burden. Some things you have to bring into the raid would be those, right? Izanagi's is going to be keen for stunning orcs. It's going to be keen for it. You're going to need it. If not, you know, you're going to be wasting heavy or something you could be using for the ogres and stuff. You know, I wish I could go into detail on the mechanics. I really can't. My best bet would be watching a guide, but even then, they're going to change it, so you're not really going to know. Other than that, you know, a really other big part of doing a day one would be mentality, right? Going into a day one raid, you gotta have the mentality to go into the day one raid. You have to know, okay, I'm sitting down, I'm gonna be playing for what could be 24 hours, you know, whatever the time limit for your team is. You could be playing for 24 hours. Whenever I play with my team, we just had one recently, but we usually go over talks, beforehand. We talk about the raid. We talk about what our roles are gonna be for the raid, right? We distribute. Okay, I'm gonna be doing this. He's gonna be doing that. He's gonna be doing that. We talk about it, right? Because it's not just playing the game. This isn't something easy. This isn't something you can sit down and just chaos. You can't chaos it. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna get frustrating, very frustrating, playing with the people you're playing with. I know some people, including myself, get upset sometimes. Like, say you understand the encounter mechanics, but say this person doesn't, and they keep maybe messing up, and that's okay. That's okay. And see, this is the point where you step back. You describe it, you talk about it, you go over the encounter like you would if you were sherping it. It's taking things a little bit slower. You're not gonna get worlds first. You're not gonna get worlds first. Leave that for the other people. You know, that's another thing too. You gotta understand that. And I'm sure a lot of you do. You gotta step back. You gotta describe the encounter. You gotta take things. You can't just brute force this. It's all about mentality, right? Because once we have a saying in our group, once one person has a bad mentality, once one person wants to quit, 50%, that's the mood, right? We try to stay at 100% mood, focused, and excited. Really excited. We love day ones. We love going into day ones. We scream, we laugh, we have a good time, we argue. Talking and arguing is important, and it's fine as long as you don't get upset, right? You gotta talk about the mechanics. You gotta talk about what works. You don't know what's gonna work, right? Nowadays, what do? You sit down for let me think of an encounter. Let's sit down for Taniks. You sit down for Taniks and Deepstone Crypt. What do you use nowadays? What, linear fusions, rockets? I don't know. I haven't done it in a while. Back in day one, I had some people running Chaperone shotgun. I was running Izanagi's Burden shotgun. Like, stuff you just don't see in a day one clear, but stuff you have to run, and that's something that we talk about. You just have to try it. You have to be ready for anything. Atrax, right? Falling Guillotine. Who knew Falling Guillotine could be in a day one, right? You just don't. You don't see stuff like that anywhere anymore. But it's all mentality, right? Once one person starts becoming toxic towards the raid, maybe not towards other people, but towards the raid, doesn't want to do the raid, doesn't want to contribute 100%, it's done. Y'all are done. You have to you have to talk beforehand. You have to understand beforehand that this is what you're getting into. And if you really want to clear, it's stuff you have to do. You can't just walk into it and be like, okay, here we go. You're never gonna clear. You're never gonna clear. You're just gonna be stuck on that first encounter. Maybe you beat the first encounter. You don't beat War Priest because nobody cares to do damage. It's all mentality, bro. Drink water. Drink water. Eat food. You have to be committed. That's the biggest thing, bro. Commitment. I mean, other than that, all I can really do is wish you luck. If any of y'all have any questions, I have clips in game. I have a ton of clips. I have a ton of videos from my day one experience going over things, failures, good things like figuring out encounters, right? Like figuring out all the Vow encounters, all the Deepstone Crypt encounters, all the other what other ones have I done? Scourge of the Past, Crown of Sorrow. I did up to Vault and Last Wish. I have experience, I have failures, I have triumphs in those raids. In day one contest mode, I can help. If you guys want help, I can describe things, I can do my best. But that's all I can really do. If it's something you're committed for, you have to do these things. You can't really play it as a joke. You won't clear. I've seen it firsthand. We didn't prep for Vault of Glass, thinking it would be easy as fuck. We actually couldn't clear it on challenge mode Atheon. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to be. We had somebody quit. Really, he mentally checked out. We couldn't be damage check, and it just wasn't it. I mean, I hope this helps some of you. I hope it helps. I'm not trying to do anything. I mean, I'm just trying to help. I've had some of you ask me, so this is me explaining to you what I do. Basically, that's it. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Of course, I can answer them. I I will be probably more than likely streaming the day one raid. I usually do. But if you want any clips, if you want any like seeing things firsthand, just let me know. Uh, yeah, that's basically it.